I want to get back to something you said earlier, is money, and do not leave it in the bank. So where
Yeah.
do we need to leave our money?
Yeah, so I always tell people, banks don't really use bank accounts. That's not how it works. So banks encourage you to open accounts and keep your money in accounts, but that's not where banks. What they do is use your money, and basically they multiply it and then give it out as loans. They give it out as loans, or they give it out. So you put your money in savings, they give it out as loans, or the credit cards, or they invest in the market. They use your money in the
Right.
market and make money on your money, and then give you like 1%, but they've made like 30, 20, 100. Do you know what I mean? And
Right.
so what I want people to do is, yes, have an emergency fund. So have something to cover you in case of emergencies. If you lost your job, if you were, if you know, the roof, the boiler, something happened, you need to fix your car. Yeah, have an emergency fund, and that should be in cash in a bank account, best savings account you can get. But other than that, the rest of your money needs to be working for you.
Right. So get in an asset maybe.
Assets, but I want people to understand your number one asset is yourself. So don't ever let anybody make you feel like, oh, you must buy a car. I mean, you must buy a house. You must invest in stocks. You must start a business. Actually, what you might want to do is just go on a course. You might want to do a course that's on self-development. You might want to do a course in regards to speaking. You might want to do a course in regards to, when I say speaking, public speaking. You might want to do a course on social media.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, to me, that's the number one place to start, is investing in yourself. Even in your job, you might, and guess what? If you're employed, people act like it's bad to be employed. Employment is a wonderful thing. And actually, it's a place where you can grow and learn and develop, and somebody else will even pay for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you can get a good job, and then your employer can pay for these courses. But for me, once you've invested in yourself, then it's about, okay, what assets can I get? For me, there are three main asset classes. There's stocks, whether that be ISAs, pensions, individual shares. There's property, and then there's business. If you can have assets in those three areas, you will live the life that you want to live. Yeah.
Right.
Now, sometimes so I meet people who focus a lot on property, but you can have property and you invest in property. Property can be your business.
Yep.
And property, you can have stocks in property. There are funds that invest in property. So you could have all three in one, all under property.
Yep.
But again, sometimes it's good to diversify. So not have all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Because, for example, now we're seeing a lot of the rule changes when it comes to property. We're expecting more taxes when it comes to property, because company needs to make government needs to make money. We're seeing interest rate rises. So property over the next 2 or 3 years might be a hard place to make money quickly.
And some people have made it look like, or maybe they are trapped into getting a lot of assets in property, where they become asset rich and cash poor.
Yeah.
So what's the best option?
I think for me, it's about having a bit of everything. So, but have what you do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy this. I enjoy finance. Like I said when I was telling you my story. So, I became the youngest financial advisor in Barclays in the country at 22. At 22, I was a financial advisor. All my colleagues, the average age of a financial advisor was 50 at the time. My youngest colleague was 45. So all my colleagues could have been my dad or my mum.
Yes.
And we're doing the same job. Yeah. So, and I come from a council estate, not a great educated, but I still was able to achieve. But even then, I didn't let that stop me. I then went on and said, look, actually, I'm tired of just helping rich people get richer. I want to help the everyday person. And so I left the banks, left my company car, my company credit card, my bonuses, and said, look, I'm focusing on people. And people laughed, and people were like, oh, you're crazy. Even my parents were like, what are you doing? Like, do you know what I mean? You've got the dream job. But it wasn't giving me fulfillment. Don't ever let anybody tell you what's right for you. You've got to know what's right for yourself. I can give you options, but it has to be you. You have to have that feeling. And I just felt like I wasn't complete doing what I was doing. I felt like there was more to my life.
Yeah.
And now, like, I thank God, like I tell people, like, I used to be a cashier in Barclays. In 2022, last year, I did a show which for Channel 4 that was sponsored by Barclays. And Barclays took a clip from that show of me and played that in their branch, in every single branch in the country, on loop every 5 minutes. And you can imagine that I went from being a cashier, the lowest in the bank. I went from a council estate looking at the Barclays building to now being in every branch in Barclays in the country. I'm telling you, don't ever limit what you can do in this life. But know what you want for yourself. You see, when it's what I love, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work. I tell people, I do what I love and I get paid for it. Isn't that what we all want?
Absolutely.
And you could do that employed, or you can do that self-employed. You could do that through being multiple businesses. You find a way that you do that. But that has to be the goal.
Right. I'm going to bring you back to something you said earlier, because now you're talking about how psychologically people can manifest it.
Yeah.
Can look, you were just looking at the light bulbs in Canary Wharf. And you said, you know what, I want to join that. And you went and pursued a career to talk about money, which is a topic that a lot of people are afraid to talk about. And which sometimes kind of, they go and say, oh, money is the root of all evil. You don't want to get a lot of money because you don't want to become cocky, or you don't want to be. So why is it a lot of misconception about money, where sometimes money can do a lot of good things?
Yeah, I think what we have to understand is that, especially it's the culture in the UK as well. In America, they talk about money. It's the land of the free. It's the land openly, dream money. Nobody's embarrassed. I want to make money. I want to be a million. All they talk, I want to be a multi-millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. Like, and nobody looks at them like it's bad. Here in the UK, even people with money have to pretend like they don't have money, because everybody will look at them different. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, actually, there's nothing wrong with making money. Like, actually, we should aspire to want to make money and want to live a life and want to do better. But it's what the problem is for a lot of people, it's what you become from money. You see, a lot of the time, when you don't have anything, you can be nice. You can be gracious. You give people time. When you start making money, all of a sudden it's like, I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to be around you. One thing for me, they tell me, oh, don't change. Listen, money's going to change you. It's going to change you. If money is going to change you, obviously, because you're changing your situation. But it hasn't changed my heart. It might change how I move. It might change the places that I go. It might change the holidays I can go on. It might change the car but it hasn't changed my heart. And I think sometimes money can change people's heart. And all of a sudden, you no longer have a heart for the people. Like, for me, I do this for the people. And then I get paid for it. And I can never let money change that. Do you know what I mean? Because if it does, then what's the point? I tell people, there are millionaires that commit suicide. Don't get me wrong, there are more people that are in poverty that commit suicide.
That's
like,
true.
You understand? There are more people in poverty, but you can, even one of the worst things in life is to achieve your dreams and realize that it doesn't make you happy.
That's true. But don't you think that it's actually bring who you really are? Because look, if you are a good person, it makes you an even better person, because you wanted to help people where you were poor, but you just couldn't do it. Now you have the tool to do it. It just makes you a better person to go and help. Now you helped your mom, right? Because you're a good person. So whoever is doing good with money is good person. Who is doing bad with money is because initially they had bad intentions anyways.
I hear what you're saying, and that can be the case. But also you have to understand that you make money, you're a good person. Then what do? People take advantage of you. So now all of a sudden you give, people only might need £2,000, but because they know you got money, they're like, can I get 5,000? You give it to them, they waste it, and then they come back again. I'll invest in my business, or help me do this. And then you start to see that people are taking advantage of you. So what happens? You're a good person, but now because people are taking advantage of you, you've had that experience. Now all of a sudden you change. Do you understand? So it's not as simple. Even if you want to be a good person, people are humans, and humans are naturally selfish. And so what happens is now you have to start to protect yourself. So even if you want to help, you don't help. And that's why you see a lot of people even giving to charities. Now, like I used to stop on the street and give to these charities. Do you know how many of these charities, about you give and only 10% of your money is actually going to the cause? The CEO is sitting on 200,000, 150,000 a year for a charity. And then they've got loads of staff and and then the people that you're trying to help are not even getting it. So actually, sometimes you want to do things on a local cause. There might be, like, I've seen youth centres and you can raise money or I try and use my influence to raise money or support causes that I know that were important to me. You know, you can't help everyone, but you can help somebody.
Right.
And that's what people need to remember. You can't help everyone, but you can help someone.
Absolutely.
And so for me, that's what I always tell myself. Listen, I can't help everyone. I can't say, because when you come from poverty and you make it, there's a hero complex. Yeah. So you want to be a hero. You want to help everyone. I can't help everyone. If I help everyone, I'm going to lose my wife. I'm going to lose my kids. I'm going to lose my, I was out here doing talks everywhere, trying to help everyone, raise money. My kids are growing up. There's no dad. My wife is there. There's no husband. There's no way I can save the world and my family's collapsing. So there has to be balance. You can't help everyone, but you can help someone. And I think when we have that mentality, understand that you're going to have to learn to say no, because people will see you as a meal ticket. I have like footballers that are clients, yeah? And their younger brothers, younger sisters be like, they'll be at work and the boss will tell them off and be like, I don't need to deal with this.
Yeah, my brother plays football. What kind of pressure is that? Like all of a sudden nobody can talk to you. Do you understand? People take advantage. I tell them, it's not even you. It's not even you. You're not even there. Your brother could get injured and gone. The money's gone. Do you know what I mean? So when I speak to my football clients, I'm like, listen, let's buy a business and give them a job in the business. Yep. You know what I mean? Don't give them money because they'll just always be relying on you. Give them opportunity. Right. And then from there, they can then build. And if they grow and they say, okay, I want to go and work somewhere else, excellent. You can hire other people in. Yeah. So for me, that's the difference. And so, yes, you can be a good person, but you don't understand. I always tell people look at, if I had 10 million, I would never wait till you get it. Don't talk about something that you haven't done, because you're in your position of, and you're in your mindset of, I've got overdraft. I'm in my overdraft. So 10 million feels like a lot, and I could never spend that. When you get it, and then all of a sudden, this friend, that friend, everybody wants your help. Oh, you can go on this holiday, that holiday. All of a sudden, standard class feels terrible. You want first class. You want business class. Money's gone. So you have to work on yourself.
I want to thank you for tuning in and liking and being so engaging. I'm loving the love and the support you're showing me every single episode. If you have any questions, make sure you follow us on all our social media and leave all your comments and your burning questions in the comment section down below. If you're listening to us through the audio platforms, Spotify, iTunes, or if you're watching us on YouTube, do not forget to give us a subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to the Diaries of Success. I was your host, Hajar Beyaz. Until the next episode, do not forget to live your best life.